Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So yeah, another one of those baiting up videos today, and today's squid. So squid is probably the most used bait that I use, and probably a whole lot of other anglers as well. And the reason for that is you can use it. You can use it on its own, or you can use it and wrap it with other stuff to make cocktails. And there's a whole host of things you can use it for, which I won't cover most of today, but I'm going to show you the most common things that I use it for, and hopefully you can pick up some tips with it. So let's show you what I'm doing. Right, so from the shore, generally the most favourite thing to do with squid is on a free hook flapper. I've had a lot of success with this, and what I do is I cut into strips and use the head as well. So free hook flapper, I'll take the head and we'll put that on the top hook, and then I'll cut your squid in half. Take out the insides, we don't need them at all. Scrape them all out, get rid. This is a bit of a mucky one. And then I'll cut them into thin strips. So, like that, generally. And do another one there. Just take the wing off that. And that's it. You can generally get quite a few strips out of one squid, obviously only one head, but this is my favourite setup. So I just untangle this rig. So again, you don't need to do it like this, just what I always tend to do. Top, I always put the squid head on the top for no real reason. I'll just hook it through, make sure it's hooked quite nicely, and that's it. Hook number one. Now quite often, if I'm using ragworm, I'll put a ragworm on the bottom too, and a squid head on the top. But for today, I'll show you. I'll just get a strip, poke it in the top, and then, especially if I'm casting it out, if I'm on the boat, I'll generally just leave it like that. If I'm casting out though, I'll poke it through sort of like 3 times. I'll make sure the top bit goes over the hook eye, and then that's it. Present it like that. Just do it again to show you on the bottom hook. So again, we're going to the top once and feed it through, and then through again, so that's 3 times. We just pull it up over the, so you see there, that's the hook eye there. Just pull it up over that, it'll pop over. Perfect, there we go. So that's free hook flapper. Probably my favourite use of squid. This is brilliant for bass. I've caught most of my bass doing it like this. But you'll catch other stuff, you know, you got your, unfortunately, your whiting, your dogfish, congers you'll catch on it as well. I've had rays on a squid head and strips of squid. I've had a double figure small-eyed ray on a squid head on a size 1/0 hook. I've had a big fawnback ray and quite a big conger eel, one on each hook on the sib that bent hooks out. So yeah, you can pick up a lot with this, but that's generally my favourite. So that's number 1. So next one, again from the shore, if I was going to use a whole squid, I use a bait mate, which is a B8 M8 they call them on eBay. I think I got mine from. Bait elastic and a whole squid. So what hook? Yeah, right. I mean, you've got a whole host of rigs here, so I'm not going to show you the rigs. This is just a simple pulley pen or clip down. I think I've got a size 3/0 there and a size 3/0 circle there. Actually, no, this is a cod rig. So I've got 3/0 there, and that's a 5/0 circle. And this is the rig I was using last week for cod fishing. So you've got a bait mate, and it's got the notch on the top. You can see that. And you put your hook in. Again, this is a little bit of a knack. You put your hook in, and I'll just hold the line taut down the bait mate. So then I'll put the squid on top. What I try and do, I try and line the hook like that. So we're basically wrapping the body and leaving the head free. And then in your bait mate, I'll just wrap it nicely. Again, with a bait mate, you don't want to go too tight because you can't get the elastic off again. Or you can't get the whole bait off again afterwards. So just go all the way up nicely to the top. Just back down again. So once it's wrapped, we've got to get it off. So again, a little bit of a technique here. Pull the pennel hook out of the way. You don't want to drive that into your hand. And I just grab it and I try and slide the elastic down with the bait down. So I use my thumb and we just nice and gently slide it down. And that's it. That's pretty much all I do. I leave the head dangling. Some people, they fold the head up and put it on the top hook. Some people cut the head off. Down to personal preference. And then on this one, I've got a pennel. We just hook it in the top. And it's just like that. Perfect. And there you go, nice and slimline bait there. So we can clip that down, which I'll just demonstrate here. That's perfect. You'll have the weight on there and it keeps the bait nice and slimline. If you use to cast this squid without the elastic, generally you'll lose it. The squid will just come off as you cast it, or it hits the water, or a fish will pull it off because it won't be on properly. So a little bit of elastic makes it nice and slimline. It flies through the air and it'll stay on the hook. So quickly, I won't go much into the boat fishing, but I'll show you quickly because it is really easy. Okay, I'll just use the same squid here. I generally only use one hook on the boat. I don't pennel it, but you can pennel it. It might even be a better idea. But I'll feed it through the top and back out. And then I will just go down a little bit further down and through again. And then just for the end, same thing again, feed it through, hook it back out. Now pull the hook down, pull the line tight, and then, because it doesn't always sit nicely, so I'll kind of play around with it. And then I'll just generally chuck that over, depending what it's about. If it's bream, they might take it straight away, but otherwise your bass, dogfish, cod, they'd be quite happy with that. If you've got a pennel on your rig, use it and just pinch the top like I just showed you on the previous rig. But this is generally, most of my rig wallet is filled with ray rigs at the moment, so I haven't got pennels on those, but that's fine. Nice and easy. So finally, if I was going to mix the bait up, make it a bit more interesting, I might mix it with a chunk of mackerel, some black lug if I'm fishing for cod, bluey, which I don't have at the moment, but I mean it's endless the amount of combinations you could use. So I'll just show you what I do with these two. And then obviously whatever you want to mix it with, you just replace it out. So if I've got a big squid, I'd just cut it in half. This isn't such a big squid, so I might just do it like that. Let's have a look. So I'm going to cut the head off this time. And again, I'll get the hook on my bait mate. Put the hook in the holder. I'm going to go whole to start with. And I'm going to match it up just like that. The squid's slightly overlapping. And I'm really not that fussy when I'm mixing it, so I might do it with black lug. I'll fold it in half. Get some bait elastic. We want to wrap it tight enough that it's nice and secure, but not too tight that it's too hard to get off the bait mate. Again, once you practice a little bit, you'll get the knack of it. And we're just wrapping it into a sausage, really. Make sure you go all the way to the top. Then we've got the pennel hook on here, so that'll keep it nice straight. Just making sure I don't go over the hook. And then that's it. So again, thumb, finger, slide it off gently. There we go. Oh, bait elastic's just come a bit loose there. And then I'll get the pennel. So get that mackerel away. I'll get the pennel and I'll just stick it through both baits. Pull the slack in the line, but gently. And again, lovely bait there. Squid and black lug. For the head, I'd use that on my other rig. I've normally got a 3-hook flap. I'll use that on it, but if not, you can just stick it on the hook like that if you want to. And then lastly, I'll just show you what I do with the mackerel. So I'm going to use the same squid again, but obviously on the beach I never would. So I might decide that it's too big a bait, which I generally don't, but so I'll cut the squid in half. Now this is defrosted, so it's going to be messy. On the beach it would still be frozen, so I'd probably just cut it in half and use the guts as well, because it just comes as one solid unit, but obviously now, because it's all defrosted, it's gone all soggy. Let's go one last time. Let's get the pennel hook out of the way. Generally for these I'd go with 3/8 for this kind of pennel rig. That would hook quite a big fish still. And I mean, obviously we've gone for the strip of squid here, but whatever you're doing, either whole, half a squid, or just like a strip like I've got, doesn't make much difference. I like to go with the flesh side out to release a scent, but I don't think it makes any difference. A lot of people swear by doing it that way, so you've got the nice silver bit showing, but I don't know the science behind that, and a lot of people disagree. Either way you do it, so just pick whichever way you like to do it. So again, we line it all up nicely. Bait elastic it, like I've showed you now. Not too hard, but good enough that we're going to keep it all in line. And we're just wrapping it up and turn into a nice sausage again. And I keep snapping it off, but sometimes you can go once or twice over your finger, feed it through, just ties it off, but I don't find you generally need to. Personal preference again. Once again, thumb under the bait, slide it off nicely. There we go. Pull the pennel down. Stick and hook through the opposite side. It doesn't make much difference. And again, there we go. It's a lovely squid and mackerel cocktail. Looking pretty tidy though as well. Nice and slim line, so it's going to cast well. But there we go. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that's given you some ideas there. So that's generally how I use my squid. So either whole, cut into strips, that's my favourite really. Or you can mix it up with other baits, like I've just shown you a couple there. But obviously there's loads of combinations you can use which I haven't covered today. And anything you do use I haven't covered, please leave it in the comments, because I'd love to hear other people's success with different baits to use. But generally that's it. Nice and simple, nice cheap bait if you buy it in bulk, or catch your own even better. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that's helped, and I'll catch you in the next video.